God bless you, our Tabernacle and friends. Welcome to another episode of the EL Vision podcast. On today's episode, we have a very special guest. To the Eerstrus and Pretoria community, he is known as the very first brigadier in Eerstrus. And to us at EL Tabernacle, he is known as a very strong song leader. When you hear Afrikaans koortjies, you know who I'm talking about. And then on today's interview, why he's so important to us is because he was instrumental in securing location as well as security. This is, of course, none other than Brother Kervin Solomons. Thank you so much for joining us today, Brother Kervin.
God bless to you and all the viewers.
Brother Kervin, before we get into the serious stuff today, who were you supporting when it comes to the sports, the soccer side of things, Brother Kervin?
My blue team, Boca Junior.
Boca Junior,
Yes.
Junior, from the beginning.
Yes, from the beginning.
And when you saw the scores hiking, you didn't decide, hey, let me jump to the Seven Stars. None of that.
Nothing.
In the blood. Now that that's out of the way, Brother Kervin, you're here today because we acknowledge the fact that the sports might possibly not have been possible if you didn't secure the locations. How did that happen, Brother Kervin?
I was a youth leader for more than 10 years, and I used to get venues for the church. And this is how Brother Logan told Pastor Edgar Jr., and then he confronted me and requested that I can be of assistance to help them to get venues for the EHR78 Cup.
Okay, so since you've been doing it, it didn't come as a shock to you.
No, it didn't come. It was just when they start now with the requirements and those, then I had to look now deeper and further.
It became a more difficult task.
Yes.
Brother Kervin, since it became a more difficult task, what would you say, what were some of the challenges that you were faced with?
The challenges is, for example, the requirements. We have to first make sure that the venue is secured, that the parking, the vehicles park inside, so that we mustn't have criminals that will take advantage of us. And also the venue need to have lights, floodlights, so that if the event goes past 6, for example, the floodlights must be switched on. And then also the netball field, and it needs to have 2 or 3 netball fields, and then maybe 2 or 3 soccer fields. And then also enough toilets, because there's a lot of people that usually join the venue.
You actually answered my next question, because I wanted to ask, how did you make sure that both the netball and the soccer were accommodated? And it makes sense, Brother Kervin actually touched on that. And we don't really see how much work goes on behind the scenes, Brother Kervin?
Yes, definitely.
Brother Kervin, what would you say, what role did the EL Tabernacle church community play in helping to ensure the success of the tournament?
Teamwork is the order of the day. There were teamwork. Everyone was tasked according to time, and everyone had to fulfill the task. So there were people that was tasked to cater, for example, the food, the breakfast, and the lunch. And then there's also people that had to make sure that the toilets is clean all the time. And that, for example, the deacons had to walk around to make sure that people are not at funny places where they can do wrong things.
Yeah, to still maintain the order
Yes.
and such. Brother Kervin, you touched on the food. What did you eat on the day?
There was something nice. I don't know. The organizers of the food, they made the croissant with a fruit thing on it, like, for example, strawberry and cream. Very nice. They brought it in a box. I almost ate the whole box.
I had to keep for the others also. But now I know what I need to get at the next tournament, Brother Kervin. Were there any except for the food now, were there any other memorable moments that stood out to you, Brother Kervin?
It was fun and games. The first thing that really touched me was the opening. I never expected the opening. It was a wow for me. Like always, El Tabernacle is wowing me all the time, from the time that I started at the church. And then the opening ceremony, it really touched me. the way it was done, I felt it was like Olympics or World Cup
On TV.
ceremony on TV. I felt so special, and the sound that played, it made my chest to become so
Hey.
and my head to stand up.
Ever proud.
Yes. And the apostle, the fact that the apostle also addressed us, it was also one of the top things. And then I included people of social crime prevention from the police to also come and have a gazebo with safety tips, because it was in August, and August is a woman's month. So I asked the member, it was a sergeant, I asked her what stood out for her. She said to me, she could see that everything is organized, well organized, and the people were disciplined. And then she said she went to the netball field.
Yeah.
She saw the dress code. It really touched her, because they always see people naked, and they never saw people the way the netball players was dressed.
Yeah.
And even the crowd was dressed. And then she mentioned she went to the soccer field also. She saw that the dress code of the soccer players, she never saw it in her life.
Sure.
And it really touched her. And she even became emotional when we spoke about it.
Sure. That's the nice thing. Even though we had sports, fun and games, we were able to testify at the same time.
Yes,
actually.
to live out what we stand for, where people won't discriminate against you, basically, if I can say that.
And couldn't have said it better, Brother Kervin. Brother Kervin, what logistics are involved in ensuring smooth operations on game day?
Everyone was tasked accordingly, and just have to make sure that the task was fulfilled. And then the security, the traffic wardens was there. They walked amongst the vehicles. They made sure that no one came to break into the vehicles, and made sure that the security was up to standard. And then there were the referees. There were supposed to be different referees at the netball games and at the soccer games. So that was also behind the scene. And then there was a program for the day. And then also they had to cater during the breaks for breakfast and for lunch, basically. And also to have a tuck shop where people could get their needs, buy a cool drink or sweets or something, or chocolate or something.
Sure. Yeah, you really are highlighting the things that we don't think about, once again, Brother Kervin. Now, the tournament, since there's tuck shops and all of this, we are reminded once again that it's all about raising funds for the Durban church building. But now, Brother Kervin, how would you say did this motivate the EL Tabernacle community to just come together?
It united the people. It made the people to understand one another, because we just see one another in church. And we don't have time to have leisure. To leisure, it shows that we can leisure under the Holy Spirit, where we still enjoy ourselves. And the main thing, it united the people. Yeah. People came from different areas, and we united as one church, basically.
Sure. And it was really an opportunity to get to know each other on a different level, eh?
Yes, definitely.
Brother Kervin, you've assisted in your line of work, I'm sure, that you've assisted with many other projects. What would you say was the difference between those projects and this one?
The first thing that I want to say is liquor. There was no liquor use.
Hey.
And liquor, it caused a big problem at most of the functions. It made the security to be at risk, because if a person start to drink, you cannot control him. And they become violent and so on. But the fact that there was no liquor, and it was well organized to the T, and then it was also spiritual leisure for us, where we could come and enjoy, parents with our children, family by family, and friends by friends, and like that we could come and enjoy one another.
Wow. And it's proven you don't need alcohol to enjoy yourself, and that we proved it on the day.
my observation, a lot of people looked drunk, but there was no alcohol.
You see, EL Tabernacle, there we have it. Brother Kervin, do you think this tournament could inspire other community-based projects that's the same way?
If they can use this blueprint, this blueprint from the church, and use it in the community, I think it can help. It can really help. This is not the first function that in my experience, in my work experience, when liquor is not involved, there's a lot of things that can be, how can I say, there's a lot of things that will not happen because of liquor that is not involved.
A lot of people won't attend number one. If there's no booze, there's no people.
Definitely.
Yeah. Brother Kervin, if you could change one thing or improve on one aspect of the tournament, what would it be?
More spectators, to get more spectators, to get everyone involved. Sometimes a person have a challenge maybe to come. People just need to talk so that we can help one another and get people there. The most important thing is to enjoy and to have leisure with one another.
Wow. That's something that we don't think about. Maybe there are issues with transportation and stuff, and maybe this could highlight it for the viewers, maybe to just invite more friends or to help arrange transportation and so forth. So thank you for highlighting that, Brother Kervin. How has organizing the event impacted your faith?
Before Pastor Edgar Jr. requested me to look for a venue, and then I've tasked a police member to go and look for a venue in Centurion. And then at that time, 2 days before I've tasked the member to go and look for the venue, I dreamt about someone that I worked in Centurion with at Littleton. I was also working at Littleton. He was working for MonitorNet. His name is Leon Boyce. So in the dream, I asked, where is Leon? And then after 2 days, he called me because he got a number from the member. And then he called me. He said to me, I don't even have to bring a letter for them to approve the letter. I can use the school as much as I want to use the school. The school is mine. And then that can just be God, because I didn't think of him. And now I dreamt about it.
Sure.
So according to me, or what I know is, it can just be God. And then that just lifted my spirit.
Yes. See. So organizing it has once again just showed that we're on the right path and we're doing it for the glory of God.
Definitely.
Sure. Brother Kervin, thank you so much. And then just to work towards my last and final question, is there anyone that you would like to thank for their contribution of the success?
I want to thank the leadership. There won't be a leadership like this leadership. Nowhere. I want to thank the leadership, the apostle, Pastor Jonathan, Pastor Jude, Pastor Edgar Jr., every person that was involved. I also want to thank the working committee, the investors, all the soccer players, all the netball players, because without them we wouldn't have this event or this day. And then I want to thank God also for coming through for us. That there was no incident there that from the time that we had this EHR78 event or soccer tournament, there was no incident of crime or criminality that happened. Everything just went smooth and well.
Yes. Thank you so much, Brother Kervin, because you were instrumental in this, and from our side, we want to thank you for your contribution. And thank you for coming on the show today.
Much appreciated. Thank you for inviting me. And God bless to everyone.
There you have it, our Tabernacle, and we want to thank you for joining into the EL Vision podcast. This was a very nice conversation with Brother Kervin, and we wanna invite you to the next episode because we're gonna have more of these nice discussions. So until our next conversation, God bless you.